who is really a boring person. She's posting a lot of pictures about like the dumb dinner she made. But
We live?
what's up?
So we live?
Yeah.
I don't think you said went live yet.
It is live as of now.
There it is.
All right. So are you going to test the audios now?
Yes. Give me a second.
Sure. The
I
settings.
see us.
Microsoft Cam.
As of now. There it is. That is room tone.
Okay, I changed it. So let's see if the audio is now working since it got changed.
That is us. Don't you guys just love the intro to the YouTubes?
All right, we're ready to go.
You know, we gotta do that bullshit.
What, the intro and
Media.
stuff? I should have been a singer. Look at that atonal mastery right
Voice
there.
of an angel. Lips of an angel.
It's like Mo Sizlak dropping a
Lips of an angel.
producer. I always liked that song because women.
That's another one of those bar songs.
I almost dropped an F-bomb. That is one of those songs where if a girl is drunkenly singing that next to you at 1:30 at night,
You know it's about to go down.
you are going to have unprotected sex with that person.
With the lips of an angel.
You don't have to be
In the pants.
You don't have to be what's his tits? What's our great? You don't have to be Nostradamus. I was gonna say Merlin.
I was like,
Close
who?
enough. You don't have to.
I was
have
trying to think of some heartthrob, and I was like, yes, Nostradamus.
Luke Perry,
Our
Nostradamus. Yeah, both had those wicked sideburns on the pompadour.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that happened to me in a couple times, and it's great because that song is about getting some strange and like creeping on your chick, and every girl's like, "This is the most beautiful.
This is
song.
about me.
I have the lips of an angel."
I just have to find the right stranger in a club.
There you go. All right, Papa's Basement. I'm John Papa Giorgio. He is Pedro Maybeo. You don't have to jump in. I was going to do something fancy. I was going to make you sound Spanish and exotic. Now you're just stupid Pete Navy with your stupid made-up name.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right, Forrest.
It was dumb. I shouldn't have said nothing.
Now you get to listen to Sally Field, your mom, get banged
Now I'm not multicultural.
and get your weird boner on. You know that Forrest got a huge rod.
Oh, when
hearing
he
his-
was listening to that banging?
Yeah.
I
He's
did.
like,
I did, yeah. And then, secondly,
Oh, yeah,
he repeated that as in, like, I'm going to be doing that later to you, Mr. Principal Guy.
He was way into that grunting. You know, he just sat by himself and did that grunting
It was super
in
weird.
a corner, yeah, and just rubbed his chubber through his little corduroy
He
trousers.
did that throughout the whole movie, but they cut it out. That's in the director's cut.
His fancy southern short pants.
Tries to pull it through the bottom.
Yeah.
Lucky Forest.
Well, I think if I'm gonna go out and engage in good stereotyping here, I like to believe that everyone who is on the Forrest Gump IQ end spectrum is just packing,
Is dangling.
Yeah,
Everybody on the spectrum is just dangling.
like I think he heard.
Why not?
I think he heard his mom getting humped, and it was like Pinocchio giving a Trump speech. You know, like it just went right down the leg and did not stop. Like that knee was the Mexican border and it just went for it. Show's website, inpapasbasement.com. Go there for every episode we have ever done, at Papa's Basement if you want to tweeter me. As also if you want to Instagram me. Instagram's boring. I don't post my food.
No.
I don't get it. My cats aren't cute.
You can't spread your butthole on Instagram.
No, I guess not.
No,
it's frowned upon at the
Do
very
we have
least.
a Papa's Basement Snapchat though? Speaking of buttholes.
There is, I believe I deleted the actual Papa's Basement account. I think it was not me just
I feel like
taking
we
it
should
off the
have
phone.
one.
Why?
Not like exactly for nudity, but just, like for maybe it gets a little weird.
I mean, look, I have
Sorry, I'm
personal...
trying to take this show to the weird place.
Yeah, like, do you have like a Snapchat you want to give out so you can creep?
Me?
I mean, that's cool.
Me?
I mean, sorry, it's disgusting.
Me? No.
All right, then look, Snapchat that's where social media jumped the shark. Like a company has a Facebook page. I get that. Company's got an Instagram page. Sure, that makes sense. You post pictures of your product. That clicks with me.
Mm-hmm.
A Twitter, yeah, you want to update them on the goods you've got. What business does a company have with a Snapchat? Like
Unless you're trying to be weird.
you want to put out that there's a taco on sale at Taco Bell, but you want people to only see the promotion's duration for 5 seconds?
I guess.
What is the point of it? Snapchat is an asinine.
Do they have ads?
What, like you're watching a
Snapchat
girl
have ads?
masturbate
Yeah.
on Snapchat?
Does it like before
And then in the
like
middle
a
of it-
girl is about to show you?
Yeah, like Max
a,
Headroom comes in. He's
Yeah.
like, try new
If
code.
anybody's gonna flick a bean, you're just gonna be like,
And you
I
would-
do. It is Taco Tuesday.
No, it doesn't have ad interruption like that. Like companies just have Snapchat pages, but it's bizarre. Like, again, I get having a Twitter, I get having a Facebook. I'm sorry, once you get to Snapchat is pretty much Wolf from The Office. You didn't watch The Office. You don't
Yeah,
get the, like
nope. A little bit of silence over here.
Snapchat's to the point of parody. I'm so, and I get
Totally.
like, again, Snapchat's good for one thing, and I'm not saying it to be funny. God forbid I say anything to be funny on this show. Snapchat's
careful.
good for sending nudes like Mission Impossible, this message will self-destruct. That's it.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's it. Like a
If
girl,
you choose to jerk off to this,
yeah, a girl sends you a nude, and then it
it
you
will
know,
self-destruct
she
in
sees
10
if you took the
seconds.
screenshot or not, and if you did, then she knows that like she can't trust you, and you're like, sure, we don't have
Absolutely,
to use
yeah.
the condom.
Has to send somebody after you.
I tested clean 2 weeks ago, baby. This is all
Look at the
good.
picture. Looks
Yeah.
fine.
Do you see any bumps on it? It's all good.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
It has-
Jupiter's eye anywhere on the shaft.
Yeah. It has a dog's face. How
That-
could it be infected?
That's it. You have a dog penis.
Well, it's a filter, but
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you were horribly disfigured.
no.
You had what the Latins call a nubius penis.
That's not it.
Okay, so we have to go from your trolling for Snapchat sexting, which isn't going to happen. I'm sorry. Stop trying to make Snapchat happen.
One time.
Dude, okay, for real, put out your handle if you want it.
Me?
Why-
I don't have a handle anymore.
Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid to do this?
I'm trying to think.
Why are you
I'm
afraid
trying
to
ma-
enjoy one of like the 2 perks of this
Okay,
dumb show?
so let's say I do join.
Yes.
What should my handle be?
Oh, Pete, maybe because you're
Radio?
creative. Okay, to hide it from people, Pete, maybe too.
I don't know. I wanted something like
I just come up with a handle and get people to send you freaky crap.
I know.
I hope it's just all the dudes that listen sending their like bags.
It's
That's-
not like dirty Pete's.
I hope you get nothing good because you're pussyfooting.
Pete's pistol.
You're pussyfooting about it,
Maybe.
man. You're not. You ever see what is it? The Wish. What is
The
what is
Wish.
that book where you're
The Notebook.
No, where you're supposed to put like what you want out into the universe. You're putting
The secret?
the secret. Your secret is that you're wishy-washy
That's
about
like, I
people
want it.
sending you
I'm gonna get
TNA
it.
via Snapchat. If you said it with a robust voice,
Well,
with some bravado,
I would
with
like
some
if
bass.
anybody thought of a name, then I'll go ahead and join.
How about you sign up
best
with
name
Pete
wins.
as a sissy who deserves no T's?
Pete is a sissy is already taken, by the way, and that's
You
that's
good
a
there?
thing, man.
You good there? I think we
They're doing sissies.
all right. The sissy porn.
It was already taken.
I don't like the sissy porn.
No,
I don't like when girls.
not okay.
I don't like when girls post that. Like, I like a girl that posts sub stuff and she's like, I want to be choked and throttled and all that junk. That's good. That's the way God intended it. But when a girl's like, I want to make fun of a sissy boy, I'm like, why?
No, thank you.
I can get my mom to do that for me, and not queer it up with any sexual stuff. I can
Right.
just get insulted if I need that.
Yeah.
We need to get to the people who have contributed so far to the Patreon. One of these days, we're going to come up with a consensus pronunciation of Patreon, but it isn't today.
It's crayon.
Yeah, but 3 people so far, 3 brave souls. And if you're listening to this show, God help me if you're listening to this and you haven't given us money, because come on, guys, come on, we're not raking it in here.
We truly aren't.
We're really giving you a
Spending
lot.
20 hours driving to this place and
Oh,
$15 a month on the website. And then no, I'm not even gonna go.
there's
I'm not even
hosting.
gonna go. Yeah,
There's all
over the
kinds of stuff. I
hosting.
have to pay $15 a month
The
to
app
keep
costs
pretty
$100
much like
bucks.
ISIS from hacking my site and uploading the Daniel
true,
Pearl
because
video to
actually
my
we
every
did-
page.
because we have done so much content that the website actually does really good on SEO right now. Like if you look up DC Comedy Podcast, it will show up.
Whatever
in the
you
first page.
did has brought me to the attention of every Russian teen that wants to deface my site.
It's because it's Russian teens are us.
I don't.
Russian
I guess
teens
you've
for
gotten us a
free
shred of recognition,
in Papa's basement.
but it's nothing but the wisdom of one Puff Daddy. Mo money and mo problems. Except we don't even have the money part of it yet.
But
So-
don't. I mean, what I'm saying is, yes, it is constantly under attack. The
It is.
site.
That's no joke.
But
I have
don't
to now
worry
pay
about
money
it because
to
we're
avoid this.
transparent about it.
I don't. This isn't anything to riff on, dude. It's just a 5-second fact we put out there. Yes, you got the show, the site noticed,
No, I know.
and now it's like hacked. Like every day, I get some email saying like we stopped some sort of
it
like.
ain't even hacked. They just trying.
All right, so we want to thank the 3 people thus far that have given money to the page, to the Patreon, which collects your money once a month for all sorts of bonus rewards. And no one really has given so far. We heard from a couple people that once they get a bump in pay grade, they're going to contribute. It's $4 a month for one of the better rewards. So I don't know.
The best reward, which is the
Are you
the dirty shows.
Are you expecting Domino's to give an extra 25 cents an hour?
I don't know what to say.
It's just bad. We live in a world where there's margins of $4 a month
It's
making
tough.
a difference for people. Like, don't get me wrong. If you're in Kentucky and it's like our show or like your Jolt Cola and the Chalk, and people have Jolt still, your Slurm.
Or Chocola.
Yeah, and the Oxys. I get it. Like, there's wide
Oxys
swaths.
don't come cheap.
There's wide swaths of this country where I get it, man. Money, it's bad. Like, it's Mad Max, except you still have the internet. That's what we've hit. And
Which is unlike me, by the way.
compared to what's
So
going
think
on
of
in
my
a
poor
lot of
soul.
this country, you live in a hipster
In a fourth world country.
bistro paradise compared to what's going on
No, they have internet.
in large chunks of Appalachia. So can you give the names? Because I don't remember who donated. That's how good I am.
I thought you were gonna try and make me say that. Now there's Chris. Chris has an L and a J, and those
Oh,
are
yeah.
the first 2 letters of his name.
There's Chris with a
I don't
really
even
long
know where to
Swedish
start
name. Yeah, it's
with
like
that.
Lindestrad or something. Wrote us a very sweet
Lagerstrad.
email. Good
Yes.
guy. Steve
Awesome
Groan
guy.
or Grone.
Steve Groan. He is
Steve,
the second contributor.
good people. Hits me up on Facebook.
Yeah,
daily.
both those are
Good guy.
contributors to the extra shows
And
that
then
we're going to be doing that are going to be dirty so that we can drop the F-bombs.
we got a third contribution from, I believe, Dick
Sanchez,
All
which
right.
I'm not sure is a real guy. He didn't subscribe, but
It's a real guy.
he
It's
seems like a nice
not
guy.
a bot, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's an alias of some sort. A pen name, maybe. I'm just happy I can do the show, by the way.
Chris, when I remember your name, though, or if you would please let me know how to say it.
It's like
Because Chris explicitly said he would like also my services, my rooftop services.
Oh,
So,
you have to do your shout out.
Yes.
Cool.
So I have to do my shout
fun
out
with that.
on the rooftop. Somebody's got to record it. I mean, yeah, you can be on the ground. Don't
Selfie stick.
worry.
Selfie stick. You can
I
buy
have to
the
do a selfie stick. That's even worse. That's even like scarier.
Has one hand hanging onto a loose shingle, one hand on your selfie stick.
All right, I'll do it.
You'll live.
Yeah, Chris is gonna get the best one.
I mean, don't act like that makes you special that you're doing that.
Which I already sent out of stuff.
I had two
What
of
did
my
you do?
wisdom teeth out the other week, and I'm doing the show now, and I sound like a human being. So I'm pretty much more of an American hero than that Muslim kid that got killed back in 04.
You recovered as fast as Wolverine.
I really did. I really did.
Earlier, you sounded like Larry Flynn.
I very much sounded like Larry after he got the stroke while in the wheelchair.
It was terrible.
And he sounds like Althea.
It was
a bit like that.
That's exactly what you sounded like. And you continued because you were just like, I'm just going to talk about this. And I don't know if you were on drugs for a while. But you were just talking like that
filled
for a
with
while.
Yeah.
And you were complaining about Courtney Love. And I was like, dude, you didn't
I'm sorry,
actually, Courtney Love. And I was
nothing.
like, you didn't actually go through with that. So just chill.
Well, let me walk you through what it is as an adult to lose your wisdom teeth, because I feel there's really a push when you're about 15. It's kind of like them going for like a second circumcision. It's really the medical industry is just finding every way. Well, yeah, it's every way they can pull a little money out of you when you're on like your parents' good plans. And when I was a kid, they're like, hey, you're 15. It's time for you to get your wisdom teeth out. And I was like, I'm sorry. Why would I want to do that? Getting my teeth yanked out sounds extremely horrible. And they explained they can come in crooked. They can crowd your mouth. They can become impacted to this day. I don't know what the hell that means. Something bad. And I was like, well, are mine doing any of that? And the dentist would be like, no, actually yours are coming in like A-okay, all four starting to emerge. They're very straight. I'm like, why are we having this talk then? He's like, well, in the future.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I had the same conversation.
Really?
Yeah. When I was getting out of the military, they were like
12 of your teeth rotted out?
A couple of them.
You look like a jack-o'-lantern a week
before
Thanksgiving.
You don't know nothing about nothing.
I know that you have like
I confided in you that I have 3 missing and they are all back teeth.
Yeah, but you'll pull on the side of your cheek and it looks like a cat's hissing at you, where it just has its fangs up front.
I will tell you right now,
gum the whole way back.
It is the easiest way to keep the fronts pearly white.
Yeah, because you're lazy.
It's half the time, brother.
4 swipes with your brush.
It's half the time.
Oh God.
It's nothing.
This was the one thing I had on you.
You're also over exaggerating.
You're in much better shape and you're much better looking, but you have a mouth like a sewer, like just black sockets. It looks like someone put out a cigarette on your gums. That's what your mouth looks like. And mine was filled with pearly white chompers until a couple of weeks ago. So I said, screw it. For whatever reason, I was just like, this is a money grab, and I smell it a mile away. And even though like my parents had fat insurance back then, and I think I could have like gotten them yanked, and they would. It
wasn't your money grab, yeah.
Yeah, they would have pulled the teeth, and I think I went home with like a $250 gift certificate to Service Merchandise, where I could have bought a new Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And instead, I was just like, nah, the hell with it. I want to see these things come in. And through the years, I think they had to burn the gums off, the bottom ones, because it was like a little root of gum, like a little gum tentacle was running down the middle of it, and like food was getting mashed under there constantly.
Yeah, they have to lance it.
Oh yeah, it was disgusting. It looked like swollen tonsils. Like really, anytime I ate any sort of rice, it was just wedged under there. And then like 2 weeks later, you would cough, and like a little,
just pop out.
Little black corn kernels coming out. You're like, oh, that's where you went. I missed
all
you,
nice and
Steve.
decayed.
Yeah, and I was cool with it. Through the years, I've just had a ton of fillings, because they're right. Even if they come in correctly, they're just at the ass back of your mouth.
Yeah.
You really have to clean deliberately to get to them. You really have to.
And who wants to do that?
No one.
No.
I might have like a human amount of teeth, unlike you, but I brush like you. I brush like, let's be honest, every person on this earth. I'm just like 5 swipes in the front. I'm like, do I look like I have bunny teeth? Like, are they just brown and
great teeth? Thank you.
Yeah, are they brown and like 18 inches long each? Do I have like walrus tusks? No, we're good. So that's it. And I guess somewhere along the line I missed a couple cleanings because my old dude, I had a Dr. John Sweeney, and he made me feel like a rock star every time I went in there. And he would just be like, "My God, your teeth are great." That's exactly how he talked. No one knows what John Sweeney sounds like. So
and then we gave him glasses.
This is the most flawless impression I've ever done in my life. Play along. And he would just say, your teeth are just in great shape. Keep on doing whatever you're doing, kid. And I was lazy. There were nights like I would be drinking anytime I hang with you, and I would just roll over and go to bed without brushing my teeth.
Is this my fault also?
Everything
my
is.
Teeth and yours.
You got the site hacked. You're making my teeth rot.
This is bullcrap. This is not. No, these are just all more things you're paying attention to.
You got scared that one time and bruised the sides of my wiener. So I'm just like thinking.
So now I have too many teeth.
Yeah, I have the mouth of Zeus himself. Nothing is bringing this down. I'm killing it. And his assistants would be like a little less bullish on my mouth. Like they'd be like, "All right, the old man's gone. Get a goddamn electric toothbrush because you have a stink hole. And one of these days that stink hole is going to catch up to you." Just like, Gotham eventually will overcome Batman. But I'm thinking like, nah, I got this.
Nope. Keep going. Yeah.
I'm the Christian Bale of this.
Darkness will never take me.
Yeah. So John Sweeney shuts up his doors because he's like 75 and he wants to take all that
and he wasn't fixing teeth.
Yeah, he wants to take all that sweet wisdom tooth racket money.
God, I feel good about myself.
Yeah, and retire.
All right, you're bankrupt, John.
Retire to Tahiti and like, raw dog 15-year-old Tahitian chicks or whatever you do once you retire as an old white guy. So
it's good because they don't have any teeth.
The two women that took over his practice called me. Well, they had like their desk guy call me.
Yeah,
that would be beneath them to actually call me. That'd be creepy. Would you be creeped out if a doctor was like, "Hey, when are you going to come into Thompson and Steveburg?" And it's the third time I said Steve as an improv. Thompson and Davidson, and you're like, "Who am I speaking with?" It's like, "Oh, I'm Lisa Thompson." You're like, "Don't you have something to do?"
Yeah,
like, no, I don't.
I've been here all week. I need somebody
just
to come
cold
talk
calling
to me.
10 hours a day. So they call and they're like, "Hey, you want to come in?" I'm like, "Hey, do you take my insurance?" And they say, "Hey, we haven't processed that." And I say, "Hey,
we take money.
When you do, call me." Yeah, they explain like,
oh, they all do that. Yeah,
you can come.
You can
here,
come in. That's the first thing they'll say.
and then you have to
You
file.
can absolutely come in
with your insurance. And
that's happened to me.
I mean, no offense, but I'd rather have your mouth than than have to go through that rigmarole.
No, I got a teeth cleaning one time, and then I came back for another one, and they were like,
Was it nice?
Hey, last time,
I
when we
expected you
cleaned
to
your
say
teeth?"
that and then ... in 1987.
And they were like, "Hey, last time, we're sorry. We don't actually accept your insurance. So, but we'll give you a discount on this one, and you need to pay us for the last time you were here."
Oh, how much was it?
And I was like, I don't know, it was like $150, but I was like, no, I'm going to do no such thing. You guys shouldn't have let me go through.
What's so special about you? Like, I didn't wake up with like a knuckle in my anus while you're doing my teeth.
And what's weird is because it was a doctor I was already seeing before, but I guess like my plan had changed.
That's
but
horrible.
they didn't do the due diligence to be like,
why would they? They're getting your money.
We don't match
way.
up anymore. So when I called and I was like, "Hey, it's 6 months," they were like, "Come on in." Then I did it, and then 6 months later, they were like, "Yeah, last time your stuff had changed. You should have looked that up." And I was like, "I guess I should have," but also
that's like
you're the business.
That's like reading through
You're
the
like saying you
agreement
don't
text before you're updating your iPhone. Literally no one does it.
I don't get it. They're like saying like you don't take American Express, and then 6 months later you're like, "Hey, we did take it, but now we need the cash for it."
Yeah.
You're like, "What the hell, guys?"
I wasn't told in the 6 month window.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
while I'm here, they're like, "Yeah, you can swipe your card. That's cool. But when you come back, we're going to ask for money."
Hell with that, man.
Yeah.
Not cool.
So that happened.
Yeah. So I wait like something like 14 months until, like any American, until I could no longer drink hot and
To
cold
brush your
beverages.
Teeth. I get it.
So I'm drinking coffee or whatever the hell one day, and it goes past this rear wisdom tooth. I'm like, "Oh, that burned like an SOB."
Sweet Jesus.
And, you know, I like the scientific method. So then I go to the freezer and I take some ice cream and I swish that about, testing the ice
What
cream's
does this
vintage.
do?
And oh, that hurt too. And I was like, okay, maybe it's time I see if they
If you get
straightened up
both
my
extremes,
insurance.
you gotta go.
Yeah. So I finally go, and these broads make me feel like I have your mouth. Like,
That's not true.
they are really ready to pull the pliers out. They take pictures from every angle. I have like agitated like pit bull gums. You know when a pit bull's just chewing on a bully stick and it's got the big frothy red bloody mouth? They make my mouth out to be that. They show me pictures of the back tooth. Oh my,
Are you sure they weren't just showing you a dog's mouth or something?
It looked like I had been chewing on a charcoal briquette. It was disgusting. So I realize it's time to face the wisdom
Which is
tooth
not
music.
terrible for your teeth. Well, chewing on charcoal, but charcoal actually is like brushing with charcoal. Again,
Are you trolling right now?
No.
Who brushes with charcoal?
Peoples?
Other than, no, I was going to say Hank Hill, but he's propane.
Propane.
Is
and
this
propane accessories?
is
like
this something
toothbrushes.
they do in your hill town?
No, I've seen it before.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
Where?
My girlfriend. She does it. I've seen it, but she has the whitest teeth I've ever seen of anybody. I have not looked up the research, but damn it, I've seen it.
Like, okay, are we talking like a King's Light brick of charcoal?
No, dum. Like you would get like a little powder pill.
I didn't know charcoal was sold as a powdered pill. So.
Well, yeah, because you can take it as
I know they give it to kids who tried to kill themselves.
But yeah, no, you can take it, yeah, because it like soaks up toxins and stuff.
All right. Okay.
I don't know. I'm no doctor. Let's get Dr. Steve on the line.
We didn't think ahead. God
Damn
forbid
it.
we prep an inch of this show.
Dr. Steve.
Fluid. So I'm not like you. I haven't had half of the teeth pulled out of my mouth. I'm really not happy that I'm finally going to lose not just one, but two of them, because they apparently cannot leave the top one in because it'll just mush food into the gum socket that's left.
I don't know. I've been there. It's fine.
Oh, God,
it's a gum socket. Like you can't brush that out.
You are grotesque.
Like, let's be serious. You can't brush out a gum socket?
So every time I ask
How
who
lazy
farted,
is you?
it's really because you yawned. Is that what we're establishing here?
Not even close. My teeth be great.
So, I mean, what's left? Yeah. I mean, like, you're like the 8 Syrians still alive in that country that aren't part of ISIS. They are doing fine for the moment.
We're doing all right.
Until a bomb is dropped on them as well. So, last week, man, they send me in, and again, I don't want to get on any sort of socialist rant here. I'm good with capitalism in a lot of ways. Like, I get, like, if you you really hit the jackpot in life, you get a Porsche, I get a Honda Civic. I'm not very good with the fact that if you're doing well in life, you get anesthesia for getting your wisdoms out, and I just get a local anesthetic. They pretty much rubbed an ice cube on my gum before they went to work.
You didn't go under the knife? For your wisdom. You didn't go completely under?
Oh, no. This was like Lisa getting braces.
This is insane. You're like the only dude I've ever known that didn't get completely knocked out for their wisdom.
Oh no, I was wide awake, sweating bullets, sweating to the point, I kid you not, that I fogged up my glasses. You could give me Jenna Jameson in her heyday unzipping my fly, and I wouldn't go like humana, and fog up my glasses the way I was on this dentist chair. Like, they come in with a tray of tools that they have to put a napkin over, like it's the corpse of a loved one you're about to identify, because if you saw dead on what they're going to jab in your mouth, you would ass your pants and be like, no, sir, no way, not
freak
today.
Out.
I'm done with this. So I lie back, and they.
But as I understand it, I mean, wisdom teeth, unless yours were already way in, which you said they weren't, right?
No, mine were all like healthy and poking at. Well, not healthy. They're. Again, they look like the teeth on like your 14-year-old shepherd, where it's like, well, we could knock him out to clean him off, but he'll die.
Yeah.
he won't
probably
wake back
bleed to
up.
death.
So
Yeah.
let's just let those teeth rot.
Okay. Well, I
You'll
guess
get
since all
another
your
6
teeth were
months out of Schnitzel.
in, maybe that was their reasoning. But I haven't known a single person that wasn't just like a zombie that couldn't drive themselves home after getting their teeth knocked out.
Oh, I drove home.
That's
I drove
why
home.
didn't you get the treatment?
Well, that would be because it wasn't covered. Do you want to take a stab at how much getting knocked out would cost me? Out of pocket.
I mean,
I remember the figure very vividly.
wait, out of pocket?
Out of pocket. How much?
You didn't
was
have
it?
to pay out of pocket though, right?
I had to go halvesies with my insurance, so even getting Dr. Mengele to pull my teeth out is going to run
Well,
me
we're doing 2 teeth, right?
between x-rays. Yeah, just my righties. So okay, this is my out of pocket was about, I want to say
1,600.
for anesthesia, $997.
Oh, to just get knocked out?
Just the anesthesia would have been $997 out of my own pocket.
Good Lord.
Then the teeth
You can get
were
plenty of oxys for that.
$350 each, which were covered halfsies. And then the x-rays ahead of time were like $225. Good use of money.
Yeah. Great
So-
use of money. I could have kicked them out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. With that prick down my throat, and you could have just coughed and
Just
wagged it
eat.
to the side. So I get cotton swabs covered in numbing gel rammed in my face, and they sit there for a minute, and then they pull out the syringes.
Yeah.
That again,
Which are the worst?
they're not like normal medical syringes. They're like, not to do 2 Dr. Mengele references, but it's like when they used to, it looks like a syringe that you think they'd use on like a Jewish kid to be like, we're going to turn your brown eyes blue, Jew. And they would just dip that in his eyeball and inject him with, blue number 5 or whatever the hell it is. Just
all the way into the brain.
one of those fancy old timey syringes that's like half metal and it has
Oh, no,
like
I
the little
know, yeah.
curly metal flourishes at the top.
Yeah,
So-
like you're at the end of the rock and
Yeah,
You just got exposed to the
they
chemical.
VX'd me. So he has to put 3 of those in each, both the top and the bottom. And that's to numb the next wave of syringes, one of which goes, I S you not, in the roof of my mouth. Just like if he kept going, it would have gone out my nose. So I get one there.
he's like, hey, watch this. Look, I'm pulling it out this side.
yeah, like
So look
circus
it-
geeking
It's
me.
coming into this side.
So after 6 loads of these Nazi syringes are dumped in my mouth, he's like, "Are you doing okay?" And I mean, I'm sweating, and I'm a sweaty guy, but I'm sweating where I'm scared. And I'm fogging up my glasses, and we get to it. He shoves a huge rubber wedge on the left side of my mouth where he's not going to be yanking teeth out. And we get to work. And it's not fun.
Oh no, it never is.
It's not fun because
Especially with the needle.
the rotty one,
Mhm.
the lower one, which was 80% rot, 60% polymer, 12% tooth still.
Okay.
He goes in with so the way this works, it's the same way that I, as a locksmith, open a safe deposit box in a
With
bank.
a bomb.
Yeah, you drill out a chunk where you then anchor a hook,
The Acme Dynastic.
and then you put kind of like a little extending rod on either side of the hook, and you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and eventually the safe deposit lock just pops right off.
Mhm.
Same concept with the tooth. Like a little vise goes around it, and then he puts pressure on the tooth in front and the gum behind, and he pushes and he pushes and he pushes, and eventually it comes out. Except with mine, it was so rotten, the instant the vise even hit it, it just
Did
sounded
it just
like
take
someone
some of the tooth?
it just sounded like someone bit through a gobstopper.
Oh.
And I was like,
Gross,
that
dude.
is, I didn't feel it, but I was like, the sound is disgusting. The sound and the not feeling is almost worse.
You're like, I can hear this not working, dude.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a lot.
And he's just like,
I thought they would just grab it, you know? I mean,
they can't.
I know it sounds archaic,
disintegrated
but it's
into,
like pliers.
well, so he's taking little shards out, like you said, actually, with the pliers.
Yeah.
Here's where I lost my S. And I'm not saying I started crying or anything weird. Like,
I wouldn't
I
blame you.
almost felt like I was gonna have a panic attack, and then I kind of got mellow with it.
I haven't gotten hard once during the story, so if you do, that's fine.
Then I have failed as a broadcaster. He takes out what looks like the metal flat boat paddle you use to push up a cuticle,
Mm-hmm.
and he just starts digging that
No.
into the socket.
Probably
where my
doesn't even
tooth
have the
was.
right angle on it. It's like probably completely straight. And then he's like, let me put this in your mouth. So he has to angle like at 90 degrees
Yeah,
inside your mouth. And you're like, dude, why
it's like
couldn't this
imagine like
already
a
be at an
pint of
angle?
ice cream, and you're just fat kidding it, and you're just rubbing the spoon around the sides and popping out big hunks of ice cream and then eating it.
And then
That
the
was-
spoon breaks.
That was getting done in my mouth. The top one took 90 seconds. I asked the top one, as far as getting a piece of bone yanked through the flesh of my body, aces. But that bottom one was a good 25, 30 minutes. It still hurts like hell to talk.
Well, you sound good.
Yeah. This is the first
Still have your golden voice.
This is the first day where I've been able to chew on that side of my face. I didn't get the chipmunk cheek, or maybe I did, but my beard does such a job of hiding the fatness of my face that I really couldn't tell.
Well, from what I can tell, you look fine. You don't have
Thanks.
the chipmunk cheek. I have had that. I have had that for
Of course
6
you
months
did.
at a time.
You have a thin little greyhound face.
Yeah, so I guess it would be prominent. But when I got my wisdom teeth removed by the way, you went to a doctor, right?
Oral surgeon.
Sorry. Oh, you went to an oral surgeon.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, sometimes there's like a dentist who's going to do it, or no, I went to a oral and facial surgeon. So this guy's supposed to be like a little bit above what I would consider an oral surgeon, because some of that's kind of hidden in your mouth.
So you got a
You can be
nose
kind of
job and your
half-assed,
wisdom's
right?
up.
Yeah, I got a nose job.
Nice.
Obviously, you can tell by its complete broken
I was
Owen
gonna say,
Wilson
I was
nose
just gonna say I've
with
never
the-
looked at your face
with
till
the
now.
high school
You are very Owen
championship
Wilson-y.
ring
Yeah.
right inside of my
Unity
bridge. So yeah, totally. That was all crafted. It wasn't just growing up in Woodbridge.
Yeah.
I got my wisdom teeth from a oral and facial surgeon, and it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I mean, as far as I
Well,
think,
yeah. Who
actually
wants to
surgery.
buy wisdom teeth? They just get them removed.
It was
Sorry,
terrible.
you said I got my wisdom teeth from.
I got them removed,
Ah.
and this gentleman left. Like you were saying, they were picking out little shards of teeth.
Mhm.
This guy said, "I don't really care if I have to do
It's
that
like,
or
this
not."
is boring.
Woman, get these for me. And
I
she
have
was like,
stranger things to
"No,
watch."
I have to play with my nails. So somebody left me there because I was knocked out. I didn't get to see this.
Mhm.
You got to see what was going on.
And you
So at
woke
some
up and
point in
Tim
time-
Watley was dressing himself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was like, why are you zipping your pants? This is weird. And why are my pants unzipped? So I was like, my jaw is extra sore. I had them leave. It wasn't my call. They left.
The way you phrased that.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
requested.
I had to me.
I don't think you're saying it
fucked
right
up.
again. Oh dear.
Sorry.
Come on.
They left bone inside of my jaw. Inside of my jaw.
Boom, boom, boom.
Mine were impacted, right?
Uh-huh.
So mine were like yours, where they were all showing up and they were just like to the line, and you were still chewing food with them and getting all fancy because you have more teeth.
Yeah. I could chew like a brontosaurus. I had
Exactly.
86 molars.
Yeah. Well, I was still with my Jello, but I didn't want my wisdom teeth because I was getting out of the military, and they were like, "Hey, it's free. Do it." And I was like, "Wow, okay, I'll do it because it's free." That was the dumbest
look at
mistake
you
I ever made.
sucking on the government teat. What did you ever do
Absolutely.
for anyone?
I don't know.
Continue.
Got divorced. It was a pretty fun ride, I guess.
So they left tooth.
They left tooth fragments inside of what they would close up. I don't know if you got any stitches in your mouth.
Oh,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay. So they left tooth
They
fragments
stitched
inside
me
of
up
there.
like a vagina after childbirth.
And I think anybody probably knows that the mouth is like the dirtiest place that possibly exists. So about 2 to 3 weeks later, I was like, something is odd. My mouth continues to bleed. It never has stopped bleeding until this time.
Oh man.
Something needs to be fixed. So I go, and I think it's about 3.5 weeks now, which, by the way, I'm getting out of the military at this time.
Yeah.
So the clock is ticking. like in a couple months, I will be completely out of the military and they will just not fix
you'll
it
have crap insurance
whatsoever.
again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be like, I don't care, dude. So I went there and he was like, oh crap, man. They took an x-ray and they were like, yeah, there's like just bone fragments in the side of your jaw. So he went there and he had to melon ball. I kid you not, like literally took like a rusty melon baller to the side of your gum. Like if you were to put
Ew.
your finger in between, you know, your cheek and the outside of your teeth.
Yes.
With like a melon baller just to dig it all out. And then
oh, he didn't even go in through the top hole. Like they started just digging in through the side for some reason, or
well, not like through my cheek, but like in my mouth, and
Uh-huh.
then like between the outside of your teeth to the cheek. Just trace that little channel, dude.
I get not through your cheek.
I know.
You're not
well,
a zombie
you looked
with a
the way
big
you
hole.
pointed. I was like,
What
good
did you
Lord.
want? I'm a human being. Do you want me to
Stick your finger in
Yeah,
your
do
mouth.
you want me to actually dig my finger in?
I told you I haven't
I've been
gotten
touching
hard this
this-
episode.
I've-
Stick your finger in your mouth.
Do
Do it.
I've been
Do
touching this
it.
board. God knows
Damn
we're in a
it.
radio station. We're lucky I don't have
I know.
Zika
Don't
from
touch
touching this thing.
anything. Yeah. So that happened, but he didn't close it up afterwards. That was his wise decision. Was like, I'm not gonna close it up. I don't think it's a good idea. I think I'm just gonna let it breathe.
Okay.
2 months later, I'm still like infected, and I have maybe the size of like a kiwi on the side of my jaw.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah. And I am literally like 2 weeks from being completely separated from the military. And I go to, and this is a big ups.
I hope you went to a
And this is
different doctor.
And this is a big ups, yes, to the Veterans Hospital in Salt Lake City, which, by the way, nobody would ever praise them because they'd be like, yeah, I sat there for 12 months in one chair and then I died.
That was the whole thing that the veterans hospitals were taking forever.
They really don't. Yeah, but this one actually was prompt. It was also because it's Salt Lake and that's like kind of where their headquarters is. So they're kind of got their stuff together. That guy fixed it. No crap. A week later, I was fine.
Well, that's good.
I'm glad that didn't happen to you.
Well, we don't
But
know.
it still
Jesus.
could.
Yeah.
Damn it,
Seriously.
I wanted to scare you with that. I had
No,
my
you make a
flashlight and
valid point.
everything.
I mean, the first 3 days of this, I've just been like crossing my fingers that I don't dry socket. That's when you like fail at life.
I've never
Like
dry socketed in my whole life. Like I've never heard
I
anybody that has. and
I
I'm like,
worried about dry
that even a
socketing like a
thing?
pregnant woman worries about miscarrying. Like, yeah, when the clot falls out, it happened. You know what? It happened to my girlfriend's mom. She said her clot wobbled out, and the stink. At first, it hurt like hell, and then your mouth just fills with food, like the trash compactor in Star Wars, and they flush it out. And she said, not only does it hurt, it stinks to high F.
Oh well, I imagine it's
Because they're pretty much at this point flushing excrement out of a mouth pocket.
Yeah, it's all decayed. It's all gross.
So I after 4 days,
I had two
think-
girlfriends during this operation, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, that's how
They
good
let
I
you
roll.
go down on them with your
That's
weird
how good I
cheek
roll.
pocket,
That might have actually been half the problem.
like a chipmunk.
Don't
Like
do it. That's all I'm saying. Don't do it,
Storing
guys. It's
pussy
too
for
risky.
later.
That could have been the problem.
Yeah, man. So that's I sat around the day of. For the rest of it, I felt like I had the flu. Like it was bad. The next day I was good. I was just crushing. They gave me oxys, or not oxys, which is what's the technical word for Tylenol 3, where they give you like the
Codeine?
No, they give you like the opiate, but then they also give you the Tylenol half to the pill so that you can't like eat 18 of them or
Don't
drink them
know.
with a Johnny Walker because you'll torture your liver.
I
So you
don't
have
know.
to just munch one at a time
I couldn't tell you.
like a little baby
I got 10 friends that have parachuted that, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
with your Fisher's Price first opiate. I hate it. So I just sat around eating ice cream more so than usual, watching Netflix more so than usual. And that was
21 hours.
That was the weekend, man. Yeah. And then I did my first job a couple days later, and it was a woman, a buxom, older, blonde lady. A little,
Ooh.
well, the rest of it wasn't that good. Like, it would be great. I mean, she was it was weird. She was like almost in a bra. This time, the second time I worked for this chick, and she was like almost in a bra, just like spilling out of it on her porch. But it was very like Broomhilda, you know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
without the Viking corset. without the Valkyrie corset mashing it together. Yeah.
Yeah, keep that on.
Yeah. So she calls and she's like, "You got me into my car like 18 months ago." And actually, a lot of times I remember.
Now I want you in the back seat.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember the customer, but I'm like, where did this happen? And if it's a location that's weird for me, I'm like, hey, yeah, I actually do remember it. And I kind of remember at least the incident. I don't remember the face.
Mm-hmm.
So I show up, and apparently I'm not the only one to not remember a face, because, and none of this is me exaggerating in the least. I'm a sole proprietor of my business. It's me. You call, guess what? It's the CEO himself answering the phone, and then he's going to drive out and let you in your car.
Even if he says we don't have a guy that's available to come to your town.
Just me lying.
That is just him saying that.
So she remembers me well enough to be like, I recalled the business name, and I was able to Google it.
I can tell by the muscles.
Come on out.
It's true.
And I pull up, and she says, "Oh, the last time, the other guy, he was Asian." And I explain, "Well, ma'am,
how high was I?
There was no other guy. I owned the business." She's like, "You didn't have an Asian working for you?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." And she goes, "Did you look more Asian back then?"
Did she go like, "Are you sure he didn't look like this?"
And then
start pulling. Like, come on, lady.
I mean, like, how do you look more like? Would I have straightened my hair?
I don't understand how you would.
Jet black and gotten like a bowl cut. Would I have tape?
Was it really sunny
at the sides of my eyes? Yeah, exactly. Was I incredibly quick with my math? You owe me this as a tip. I don't get it. Like, did I have like the little short round hat on? Like, how do I look more Asian? It's not like I tanned to Asianhood.
No, that is not a tan.
Yeah, I tan like a swarthy Israeli or Palestinian. Like, I get that Jesus on the cross tan. I don't get a Asian tan. So we established that no, I hadn't de-Asianed myself since we last hung out.
Yeah,
I think both times she seems like a fun lady.
She let down?
No, because
just confused.
Yeah, last time I was really sure she was driving and a little tipsy, but I was like, hey, not my place to judge, you know, like as long as you don't like
she's home.
As long as you don't blow in my face. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you know, like you didn't just down a bottle of scope. Like, what's going on here? Oh, go for it, man. That's for the courts. But she was
your job.
So I remember that about her, and I drive up and she was just like pulling a U and had like multiple empties at her feet and was just drinking another. She's like, you know, it was 90 degrees, like 6 p.m. She's like, well,
I don't recall.
Of course you don't. That's the problem.
That's ever happened.
It's many times that you don't recall. That's again. So
hey, I never locked myself out.
Yeah, that was fun. Apparently, I used to be way more Asian. I don't know what that means.
Did you have Howard with you at all?
No, this was me alone.
Because I know you do a little friends trip.
Yeah, I'm
since
chilling with
obviously,
a friend.
You're like, I can't take anybody else. I'm the only guy working this joint.
Yeah. So, I mean, have I gotten less Asian in the span of our friendship?
I don't think so.
I just had to ask.
I can see you squinting.
Again, you're right. Man. Like maybe I was doing this and
she's drunk, you're squinting.
Yeah, it was like
match made in heaven
on the set from Lawrence of Arabia. You know, just sun battering me. I'm like, I don't know.
But what are these mammers?
Oh, she just had Aretha Franklin, but white breasts.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I was still taking a peek. I don't care what the rest was.
Those softies. Nice to play with.
Yeah,
They went like super rock hard, right?
No.
They
definitely, they were like water. They took the shape of whatever they had been poured into.
That's not bad.
Is what it is. I mean, I wasn't paid in sex. I was paid in American dollars, and then I left and went back home to my Netflix and my paint pills.
Yeah, but you don't, I don't know. I feel like through the ages of time, like you don't want like a rock hard mammers.
Well, if you're Melania Trump, you do. I mean, have you seen those nudes that floated to the surface of the?
I saw the one you posted, and I was like,
with the baby emoji over the nipples.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny.
Was that you? Was that you, John?
Yeah. It was a legit nude. And then I was like, well, I can't really post like straight up nipple, I think, on Twitter. I'm not sure.
Oh, you totally can.
I mean, I guess so. There's like
Yeah,
certain...
I mean, I can go to some other ones.
Well, yeah, I mean,
No, I don't follow them. I've never. No, I don't know if you can.
I've seen porn stars where it's like 8 pictures of the same like black D in their caboose, and it's like, hey, come check me
And
out.
then the last one is a star between that. Yeah, and you're like,
yeah, it's
why even bother?
MILF Stomp 64. Yeah, check it out. My favorite game of the mid 90s.
Yeah, but I saw the one that you posted, and they look really firm.
So over I guess earlier this week, photos of Melania Trump, wife of Donald Trump, Republican candidate, they surfaced her nude, which, she's both Eastern European. So I want to say like everyone who's Eastern European has at least 18 to 25 nude pictures out there. That's just how the ladies of that land roll. But she was a model too. And this is her pre all the good surgery that turned her into what she is. And by the way, through these pictures, I then started Googling his daughter. What is not Ivanka? Ivanka, right?
Ivanka.
Yeah.
Ivanka.
Man, she's had a ton of work too. Bitch looked
hasn't?
like an uglier Lady Gaga before she went under the knife. Now you look at her and you're like, holy crap. I mean, that's like tasteful plastic surgery. They got it done and then they stopped. They're not doing the Kim Kardashian
Yeah,
thing,
I was going to say they didn't do the Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, and then it just keeps going and it keeps going.
She's like, just make me black.
Yeah, and then you're naming your kid Blanket and you've got a surgical mask on. Maybe that's why she thought I was Asian. I drove up in one of those.
Yeah.
So, what I walked away from, you see these nudes, and a second one came out, by the way. Yeah, today.
Was it with 2 chicks?
Yes.
Was it her?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was her cozying up to another chick who's also topless behind her.
That's weird to say.
I mean, it's like,
I saw like a picture in a picture, and I was like, I'm too lazy to Google that, but I was like, I bet that looks kind of cool.
I'm not like into it enough to.
No.
Yeah,
that's not gonna work.
Well,
yeah,
it's just like a.
If that was Michelle, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, because that's dirty as ass. Like that's a legit first lady naked. Like that's kind of
gonna be good.
Yeah, there's something dirty to that. Like if it were the Bush girls, if it were them naked, that would be cool because they'd actually been elected. But like Melania's just like outsider right now. She
no big deal then.
Legit just posed for probably 1 billion of these things. And it was before like all the facial work was done. So she just looks like any other chick who would have blown you for like 80 drachmas or whatever the hell.
Drachmas?
Yeah, like I could have gone for my homeland. That's gotta be a
fade. That you made that up, right?
The drachmas were the old Greek money.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was
like now it's all the euro.
That's good pull.
But the Italians had the lira.
Nice, man.
The Greeks had the drachma. I don't know what they had.
Drachma just sounds like a money that's gonna go bankrupt.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I think they had like Croatian pesos. That was the technical term for the currency over there. Yeah, it was one sexy. Like the face just looked like again any other chick that you could have for a very affordable amount of money.
I would imagine,
have sex with and bring her back to the country if you so desired. And the implants were.
I wonder how
hard
that happened for Donald.
I mean, his first wife
probably through honesty and hard work.
His first wife was a foreign chick too, Ivana. The one I think Ivana is Ivanka's mother. That makes sense, name wise. So he digs that accent, man, which I couldn't stand an accent. Oh, I could. You know what? Like I miss my dad being alive, but more than 5 minutes of that accent, I'd be like, don't you have somewhere to be? Yeah, like I just they get old, man. They get old fast. Some people are just into that foreign thing. My mom's into it. Obviously she had sex with my dad at least twice.
Please don't speak. Just sex.
Yeah, and I think that's her bag. I don't get it. I don't like foreign so much. I dig British. I can get behind that.
You can also tell what somebody is saying.
Yeah,
and you're like, that's
fancier.
You're like, and also you're like, wow, you come up with way cooler slang than we do.
Oh, that too.
Like 100%.
Yeah, like you want to kiss them on the fanny.
Like, it's just way cooler slang.
You want to snog their fanny?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But everything they say to us sounds, as they would say, posh, especially the London accent. They could be like, oh, could you fetch me some Pringles. I wish to watch Tony Stewart win the race today. Like, my God, you are royalty.
I've popped once and I can't stop.
Yes,
Please.
They just sound great. I get that.
You were like,
I don't get the
I am
Latin.
hard.
I don't get the South American accents. I don't really get the Lurgenborgen, like Northern European stuff.
The Swedish chef.
Yeah, I don't like any of that. I can do British. That's really it. I can do Southern accent too. That's not much, but I could live with that.
Yeah, Southern's fine. Southern can be cute.
I worked with a Limey, a British guy, and he said, here's your weird fact for the day. He and his old man were driving through the deep South, and for them as Brits, hearing the Southern accent was like us hearing the British accent. They're like, holy damn, that's the sexiest thing I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe it's just because it was like some 15-year-old chicken cut off. I don't really know.
Also, yeah, it's like maybe she had Daisy Dukes. And
I really
her
couldn't
teeth
tell
were
you.
flopping out.
But he said that was the thing. But yeah, those are some lousy teas, man.
Yeah, they were nothing to write home about. I was kind of
obviously
let down.
Everything's been worked over like 5 times since, because that's just how that dude works.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, that's not something.
I've
that's
never.
something you got to work harder for. That's not just something you show in a photo shoot. That is something that as moving pictures.
I don't see Donald as the type who's like, I love you as you are. Like I think he bags her, and it's like, this is stage 1. Like by the end of it, you're gonna be like Brundlefly coming out of the telepod. It's gonna be a whole new thing.
Do you mean like, is she gonna get like?
She's gonna be half pod.
Completely worked over.
She's going to be half pod door.
Okay.
I always hated that ending to the movie. How come that transformation was instant? How come he didn't have to slowly morph into the pod door? Think about it.
Yeah, you're right.
I just thought of that now, and it's ruined the movie for me.
Yeah, that really ruined it for me. I didn't think about that either. I was just thinking how cool it was that he broke somebody's arm.
Oh, he didn't break. Oh, he did during the arm wrestling.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about when he barfed on Beardy's arm and leg.
Melania.
Oh, is that what she did?
I've seen it. It's happening already.
She spat that white crap
She did.
on Donald's D. Burned it off. Oh, God, I just want to go home and watch the fly now. Damn it. I
can't wait to see what she morphs into.
We have I don't know, not much. We can do Ellicott City if you're feeling it. A much more city than Prince's Erotic City. If
you know around this area, then you know maybe of Ellicott City. I feel like it is national news, but I don't feel like it's really a big known city.
I have a friend in LA who was talking to me, and she's like, dude, those floods in Maryland. And I'm like, my first thought is, why do you know about that?
Exactly.
And because I'm cheap, I used to have the New York Times as something I followed on Facebook, but you can only click it like, they say
twice
5
a day
times
or something. Yeah.
Well, they say 5 times a month, but their IP tracking really sucks. So like I was reading everything for a time, but it eventually caught up to me. And then I really couldn't read things. I was like, oh, the hell with that. Yeah, I unfollowed. But the BBC doesn't want my loot. And so I'm not sure if the BBC does have a paywall. I don't think it does. It's not actually a newspaper now that I think about it. It's not the London Times or whatever the hell they have. The BBC on Facebook posted about the goddamn flooding in Ellicott City, Maryland, which I would explain. But apparently, in every nook of the country, you guys know what the hell the flooding in Ellicott City, Maryland is. The irony being,
I could barely tell you.
Dude, until I started getting clients in Ellicott City, Maryland, with a gun to my head, I would just have to say, I love you, Mom, but this is where it ends.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you where Ellicott City is. And like, as the crow flies,
I've been there a couple times. I couldn't tell you where
it's maybe 30 miles from where you and I sit. It is very close by. But I, first of all, really don't know where it is. Second of all,
it's also no bigger than the studio.
Yeah, didn't know it had this historic district. Like every time I've gone to Ellicott City, it's to work at like the same old like Old Navy and replace their back door parts and stuff like that. But it wasn't like a cool.
So it wasn't old Ellicott City.
No, it wasn't like some cool rustic thing that apparently got flooded out and 2 people died. Again, all of you people know what I'm talking about. So for once in my radio career,
I don't have to tell you.
yeah, I'm not going to waste my time elaborating. The floods of Ellicott
But
City.
I can tell you right now that it's literally the size of this building. It's like one street that, just imagine any of your friends lived on, and it is no joke, half the size of that street. It's nothing.
So it's like Old Town Fairfax. Like
it's exactly
2 blocks
like
by 2
Old
blocks.
Town Fairfax.
It's just so
It's 2 blocks.
bizarre.
Okay,
It's
perfect. Yes, it's about 2 blocks, maybe 2.5. One of them is uphill, like half a block is uphill, and there's 2 blocks down.
It's
That's
just
That's
so
it.
bizarre that everyone knows about this damn little place.
Yeah.
Like, so much worse is going on weather-wise. There's like some forest fire going on right now that they haven't, I think in California, they haven't quenched whatsoever. Really, we're all going to die. Like, the things that keep the ozone gases from just cracking down and us frying are now burning. Do you get the irony of that?
Yeah.
The thing that saves us, it's like if you put on an oxygen mask underwater to scuba and it's filled with water. That's what it's like. You're
It
screwed.
is ridiculous.
So as these forest fires burn more and more, we're all going to die. I'm going to have to waterproof some like little USB sticks so that when the floods recede,
Well, they haven't come out this way.
in 200,000 years, people can listen to the show again.
Although they happen to Skyline Drive a little bit.
The forest fires?
Yeah. When I was out in Utah, the day I left Utah, 2 forest fires were burning as I left the state.
Jesus.
One on the actual sign for one of the exits while I was driving. There was no firefighters or anything around. They were like, dude, that's just going to happen. They can't be everywhere.
We are
And I was
boned.
like, this is insane.
We are boned.
No,
All right.
everything's going to hell, and then Trump will probably help it.
Well, I got to roll because apparently I have multiple missed calls,
I
and
have to
maybe I can make some money. And you have to tinky. You have to tinky and tend to your 4 remaining
Thank you,
teeth.
guys. We'll see you on the dirty episodes.
Oh, yeah. So, again, contribute to the Patreon. This is Papa's Basement. Contribute to our Patreon, which is a service that allows you to give us X dollars every month regularly. We're asking for $4 a month to get bonus private episodes where we drop the F. Like you did accidentally.
Yes.
But on purpose.
I'm
I'm John Papa Giorgio. Show's website, inpapasbasement.com. Go there for every episode we've ever done. At Papa's Basement on Twitter and Instagram, formerly Facebook.com/Papa's Basement, YouTube.com/Papa's Basement. And that is it for me. Pete?
I'm at Pete Maybe.
All right.
I'll see you guys.
We're out of here.
We're home free. School's out, baby.
Good show.
Nothing to talk about, nothing to critique. Great show, great guests tomorrow. You go home, have a glass of wine, whack off. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's the post-show critique?
Yeah, you're the best.
It's my time to go. I successfully burned all my bridges. Nobody loves me, and I don't love nobody.
Then he said penis.
Yeah. Then he said masturbation.
Then he said vagina. That was cool.
Had a mighty hard time, but I'm on my way. Had a mighty hard time, but I'm on my way. It's a mighty hard climb, but I'm on my